New at 6, if you drive a Kia or Hyundai, you may be one of thousands of people eligible for a free engine replacement in your car.
The EPA says the car makers overstated gas mileage on close to 1 million vehicles sold in the past 3 years.
2 manufacturers knowingly sold vehicles that could easily be stolen.
Since its establishment in 1992, Kia Motors America offered affordable and economical vehicles to the American market. After a decade of sales, they became a well-known and established brand. Though alongside their growing sales figures, a different sort of reputation was brewing within their consumer base. And that reputation was a not-so-consistent reliability stature. Today, I want to point out a pattern of lies and ignorance in the recent history of Kia and Hyundai.
First, I appreciate very much your coming here at our corporate headquarters.
Let's travel back in time to the year 2011, where the first big lie rose to the surface. Imagine this scenario. You're sitting on the couch watching TV as you come across this Kia Soul commercial. I'm sure we all remember that one. You go to the dealership, the window sticker says 34 MPG highway, and you're thinking you just can't ignore that MPG. Fast forward a year later and you see this on the news.
And about face for Hyundai or Kia. The EPA says the car makers overstated gas mileage on close to 1 million vehicles sold in the past 3 years. The automakers are calling it a procedural error and say that they will pay the owners for the difference in gas mileage.
That's right. Kia and Hyundai lied about the MPG estimates in their testing. This discrepancy was discovered by the EPA during an audit of gas mileage tests undertaken by Kia and Hyundai.
Look at this little book. Every time Lewis buys gas, he writes down how much he bought and how far he's gone.
At about 26,000 miles, I have an overall gas mileage rating of 29.92.
And that, he says, is the problem. Look at the sticker that came with this car. City miles per gallon, 29. Highway MPG, 40. The smaller print shows in the city, mileage could go as high as 34 miles per gallon, and highway as much as 47 MPG.
My mileage isn't anywhere close. I've tracked every single gallon of gas that I put in this car from when I got it.
These tests were conducted after a large number of complaints from owners concerning their cars weren't quite as efficient as they were expecting. The Kia Soul was not the only vehicle to have an inflated MPG figure. All Kia and Hyundai models from the years 2011 to 2013 were affected by this error.
South Korean automakers Hyundai and Kia admit they overstated the fuel economy on nearly 1 million cars.
Upon this news being revealed, Kia made a statement on their website apologizing for the rating on both manufacturers' vehicles, stating that they are going to voluntarily adjust the fuel economy ratings for approximately 900,000 vehicles. Their statement blamed the inflated estimates on procedural errors at the automakers' joint testing operations in Korea. To address these concerns, Kia and Hyundai launched a reimbursement program which literally involved them mailing a prepaid debit card to your house to compensate for the extra fuel costs with the rating change.
Hyundai and Kia say the mileage issue is a procedural error and has offered to, quote, make it right for consumers by issuing debit cards to reimburse them for the extra gas they had to pay for.
Plus a 15% premium over the lifetime of ownership. Although this required the affected owners to visit their dealers every year to have their odometers checked. That last bit wasn't appealing to many owners, and unsurprisingly, a separate class action lawsuit came to surface after owners deemed the reimbursement program wasn't good enough. They banded together to file this lawsuit against Kia and Hyundai. This lawsuit forced the two companies to offer lump sum payouts totaling $255 million. More specifically, affected Hyundai owners received about $353 and $667 for affected Kia owners, and a separate $350 million greenhouse emissions settlement with the EPA. After all the court fees and expenses were paid, this little debacle of theirs ended up costing them upwards of $650 million. Let's move on to the next controversy. Picture this. You're driving along the freeway in your 2003 Kia Sorento at a steady 55 miles an hour. Suddenly, the car shuts off with no warning. The music stops, everyone is silent, panic settles in quickly, you just lost power steering and managed to steer the car off the side of the road with all of your strength. Well, these events were very real for many 2003 to 2006 Kia Sorento owners, according to this 2014 class action lawsuit filed against Kia. You see, the first-generation Sorento came with a few different engine configurations, namely the Sigma configuration, or what's referred in the lawsuit as the 3.5-liter V6 engine. This was the engine in question with this lawsuit. The Sigma V6 had a catastrophic defect in which the lawsuit claims Kia had long-standing knowledge of the problem, but intentionally didn't tell customers about the problem so that they can make money by performing unnecessary repairs not related to the real issues. The real issue was a defective crankshaft pulley bolt, which, when broken, can damage other engine components and cause other significant issues, such as the engine stalling without warning, including loss of vehicle controls such as power steering. This issue left a lot of dealers scratching their heads as to the cause. Kia denies the allegations, yet agreed to settle this class action lawsuit to avoid any further legal expenses, so they claim. Owners affected by this lawsuit could be eligible for a reimbursement of up to $4,900. This lawsuit reportedly cost Kia hundreds of millions of dollars, though no specific number was given.
Remarkable evolution of gasoline engine. Theta 2.4 GDI engine.
The Theta engine is a popular engine in Kia and Hyundai's lineup. It's got plenty of power with better than average fuel economy and later including a few different standard variants, including naturally aspirated turbocharged or a hybrid variant. Theta has a long history within the two companies. It first debuted in the 2004 Hyundai Sonata and continued to be used in several other models until 2007 when the next evolution of the Theta engine came out, the Theta 2. The Theta 2 was a widely used engine in Hyundai's lineup, including but not limited to the Tucson, Sonata, Forte, Optima, Sportage, and the Sorento. Some of you may be familiar with this engine because it was very popular in the media for its explosive tendencies.
Justin Jarvis has been the proud owner of a Kia.
I wanted something reliable that we could take on trips.
However, you won't find a Kia product parked anywhere in his driveway.
My engine stopped working.
On average, Theta 2 engines began to exhibit symptoms of engine failure as early as 60,000 miles. Owners of these engines were plagued with engine knocking, stalling, and even complete engine failure at this mileage. Allow me to read you this report. Jacqueline had taken her Sorento to the dealership to have it diagnosed after it kept breaking down on her in the middle of traffic with no check engine lights. The dealership had agreed to replace her engine, only to inform Jacqueline that she's going to have to wait even longer because the replacement engine the dealership ordered exhibited the exact same symptoms as her original problematic engine. In 2015, Hyundai recalled 470,000 2011 to 2012 Sonatas, and as the years went by, more and more recalls of cars in Hyundai's lineup were recalled. By 2020, more than 1.7 million vehicles equipped with Theta engines were recalled, including newer 2022 models. Here's a list of them that were included in the lawsuits. So what was the problem with the Theta 2? Well, the NHTSA had the exact question when they began, and to this day still continue to investigate Hyundai and Kia for any wrongdoing.
Metal shavings from the engine production process weren't properly cleaned out during that production process.
During this time, Hyundai and Kia were getting hit with back-to-back class action lawsuits because the two companies refused to pay the thousands of dollars to repair or replace the engines. Eventually, the NHTSA's investigation and other lawsuits revealed several problems for several different models. 2011 to 2012 Sonatas suffered from connecting rod bearing issues, which quickly sent metal shrapnel into the engine oil, thus causing engine failure relatively quickly. Hyundai admitted to issues with the manufacturing process, which left metal debris around the engine's crankshaft, causing oil flow issues. The shrapnel in the oil created damage or failure of the engine's connecting rod bearings. The The next problem was with the GDI or gasoline direct injection variants of the Theta 2 engine in the 2011 to 2014 Optima, Sportage, and Sorento. Lawsuits allege that the injection system had a defect that caused a restriction of oil flow through the connecting rod bearings and other parts of the engine, which began to show symptoms either during the warranty period or shortly after the warranty period had expired. By this time, Hyundai hadn't really admitted that there was an issue with the engines, and that the crankshaft cleaning problem hadn't been sourced and corrected. In August of 2016, a whistleblower appeared. A longtime Hyundai engineer of over 25 years with the company had a conversation with the NHTSA. He told the government that Hyundai had always been aware of the issues with the Theta 2 that caused engine knocking and premature failure. The employee was sent to the Hyundai's Internal Discipline Committee after speaking to the NHTSA. Hyundai also filed paperwork to the District Court of Seoul that claimed the engineer had leaked secret corporate information to the NHTSA. As the years went by, Hyundai's and Kia's reputation suffered. However, despite how problematic the last couple decades have been for the company, they are still one of the largest car manufacturers in the United States and the rest of the world. Let me know in the comments what you think about Hyundai and Kia, as I'm always interested to see what your thoughts are on their situations. Hope to see you guys in the next video.